So I'm going to be honest, I make a lot of videos on this channel about how to start or scale an agency all the way up to 80K a month, which is what my agency Centrosite does. So it's the maximum I feel like I can go, but this is the only video you actually need. And I'm gonna be honest with you. And so right here next to me, as you can see, is exactly what I'm gonna be showing you in this video. So if you want, you can literally just screenshot it and leave if it actually makes sense to you. Otherwise, if you don't have the next 5 to 10 minutes, just pay attention to this. I promise you this is what made a huge change in not only my life, my agency, but also on the one-to-ones. Like recently I was doing a one-to-one with someone who was doing about 8K a month, and he was trying to scale but literally couldn't get anywhere, super frustrated, no confidence in his service, his agency, or anything like that. And I took him through this, and today I think now he does like 30, 40K a month in revenue. And I've even shown this to a lot of people who are just starting their agency and they get the same value out of it. So we're going to talk about the number one mindset hack I use every single day and that you probably should be using to start and or scale your agency, right? And so what I'm going to do is I'm basically going to redraw that, but I'm going to redraw it and explain it as we go, right? So majority of you are probably looking at the results that you've had with your agency because either you've been stuck at the same recurring revenue level for a while, or you're just getting started and already you're starting to feel a little bit of disinterest in it, or you're starting to burn out. You know, maybe you've sent 100, 200, 300,000 cold emails, cold messages, and you're not seeing results, you're not seeing clients, and you're thinking of giving up, right? If that's you, then this is for you. Now, first of all, there is such a thing as doing the wrong thing and expecting to get results out of it. And so this is not applicable to that. If you're doing the right thing, this is going to work for you. But I highly encourage you to book a call with me directly, and I'll literally just see like what outreach methods are you doing, or what operations are you running, and how can we improve on that? Because you might be putting in all the work, the effort, right mindset, but if you're just doing the wrong thing, you're not going to see results. And I learned with a one-to-one mentor. That's why I believe in a one-to-one. And so if you can, that link will be in the description. But anyways, let's go through it. So first of all, majority of you, when you're starting your agency, you're probably going to see results similar to this, right? It's a bit of an exponential curve. Now you might be saying, Courtney, that makes sense, but the thing is, what does it actually mean? How does it actually work? So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to break kind of the journey of starting and scaling an agency into really 3 phases, right? Like, let's do that. So we've got phase 1, that's kind of between there and there, and phase 2, which is about here, okay? Now, the thing is, up here, you are obviously super happy, right? And I think it's important to start with like where you start at and where you end, right? So here at the bottom, you're super sad, right? You either probably are in a job that you don't want to be in and you're looking for some way to travel the world, to have time freedom, location freedom, but also make quite a good amount of money for yourself. And I've seen that with so many agencies. It's probably one of the best businesses to start, if not start, but scale if you're trying to make passive income and actually learn a lot. But let's say that you're the opposite of that, but that's where you want to be, right? When you're over here, you are making consistent revenue every month. Your clients are happier, getting good results. You're making, 6 figures easily a year, if not 7. And you have time freedom, you have location freedom, and you actually just enjoy the work that you do. And if you don't, that's cool. You can change it because you're your own boss, right? And you can change things within the company that you work in, right? Because it's your agency. That's where we want to be. So here's the thing, 99% of you are probably here. This is the first part, okay? And this is where almost everyone gives up, okay? Because the thing is, this is where you're seeing a lot of things happening, but there's no results coming. So in this area, there is super high effort, right? This is the hardest part about an agency. This is where you are literally starting out, spending hours a day, and I literally mean hours, cold emailing, cold DMing, prospecting, hunting, going through so many lists with tools like Snov and Lemlist, and you're literally scraping emails, you're going through it. It's horrible, right? You're also building out so many SOPs, and you're spending majority of your time, to be honest, learning, right? Getting on calls or going through material, watching sales calls. This is also when you have the least experience, so you're super nervous about the service that you're offering. Can you get results? What is it going to be like when you're actually on sales calls? So super huge amounts of effort here. And to be honest, you're almost getting like no results, right? Like there's no income coming in, no meetings being booked. Everything is just not working despite the fact that you're putting in so much amount of work, okay? And this is honestly the first 6 months of agency life if you just try and do it all by yourself. or I would say like 1 to 2 months if you do it with the help of someone, whether that's me or someone else, it doesn't matter. But the main thing is get someone to guide you through the process, right? This is pretty much stage 1, okay? Then let's go to stage 2. And stage 2 is where things start happening, right? Like you start booking more meetings, you start signing more clients, you slowly start getting more results for them, you start increasing your revenue, and things kind of start ticking up. But here's the way that this gets disguised. This is kind of like the knife in the devil's back, right? It does not happen like this. Like I wish I could say that everything just slowly starts getting better and everything just goes up nicely, but it doesn't. It's probably going to look more like this, right? Like you have super high ups and downs. You know, you sign lots of clients and then you go like 2 weeks with no clients. Then you get better and then things go bad. Then you lose all of your clients and then you go up and down and up and down. But the main thing is you are making progress, but it's ups and downs, highs and lows. And this is where it's also very easy to give up, because at this stage of the game, you really are just starting to get momentum. And the thing is, if you roll a ball down a hill, you got a lot of momentum pushing it, but as the ball rolls more, again, Newton's third law, you're going to get more friction. This is why you get higher ups and downs, right? Because you're now starting to see meaningful results from the beginning of an agency, which is getting sales. But now other problems come, because now you have to figure out service delivery. You have to figure out building a great team, culture, how to only have the best people in your court who are 18 players, how to get them to stay, how to get them to perform, right? How to upsell clients, how to get them to lock into 3 months and pay and invoice and cash flow and accounting, and long lists of issues suddenly start coming up. Like I honestly believe it that getting clients for an agency, if you have the right mindset, the right system and the right mentor, and you actually put in work, it's the easiest thing you can do. The hard part is keeping the clients, sustaining your own mental desire to continue, because most people are happy making 5 to 10K a month, right? Like to go further than that is, do you actually want to take on more work, more everything to get there? That's kind of what we kind of hold people through as they go through the journey. But anyways, that is what starts happening. If you're experiencing a lot of highs and lows and stuff, you are in that phase, right? You're in phase 2, okay? And this is where your agency kind of goes from a bit of a side project slash hobby slash thing you think will one day make you money, to now it starts becoming a super real business, right? Real payroll, a lot of things crop up. And then after that, we get stage 3. And this is where you start getting the value that you put in right in the beginning. And by the way, this whole journey is honestly like 36 months, right? Like I feel like that's, again, it depends on the actions that you take and the amount of effort that you have, because a lot of people start an agency, but they're kind of doing it full time, but they're not, because they're also messing around. They're also doing a lot of drugs and they're drinking and all these things. If you go full hard on it and you're investing in mentors and you're literally doing everything that we say that you should do, you can probably get this closer to like 3 months. Otherwise, you're looking at like 6 months, right? Like that's the time frame that I would have here. And I've seen some people do this in less, and I've seen some people do this in 2 years, right? Like it really depends. But I've never seen anyone who consistently sticks with it, doesn't give up, and still implements and learns, who doesn't succeed with an agency. And this is the number one thing that makes or breaks it, is if you can see this curve, like visually see this curve, because in the beginning, the curve is super flat. Like you cannot see progress, but you have to be able to extend out that vision and see the long-term future and keep pushing, even though you're only going to bear some of the fruits of your labor that you're putting in today months from now. Because over here, like if I can say there's one thing that changes in stage 3 from stage 1 to 2, is you start honestly just seeing some compound effects, right? That's the only thing. And those compound effects is basically you have a good team who can deliver on services. You don't have to be on every client call. You can sign clients and not worry that they're going to leave or that there's going to be issues. You have a good sales prospecting force built up, or at least a system in place, so you don't have to worry about, am I going to be able to make sales to pay for rent next month? You are at this point going full time, so you don't have this as like a side job, side hobby or whatever. It's your full-time business here. And not only that, but like you genuinely enjoy the work that you do, you're growing and you're happy, right? That's the main thing. So what lessons can you get out of this? The first thing is just don't give up, right? Like if I was to summarize this, not to give up, but more importantly, to see that literally there are so many businesses or so many agencies started every single day. 99% of them are going to fail, right? the reason majority of them fail is because every single one of them gets stuck at this phase over here, stage 1. This is where most of them fail, right? So just make sure that you're not one of them for a start, and then embrace the ups and the downs, right? Like I see a lot of people complaining when they have these ups and downs, but honestly, embrace them because they're learning points, right? Like if you don't go through these learning points, you will never ever have this compound effect that starts happening here, because this is basically just a bunch of learning points all kind of compounded on top of each other, and that's what ultimately gives you the compound effect for growth. So I hope this was helpful. Again, like I've shown this to so many people and it's changed how they operate their agencies. So I hope this helped. Again, if you do want to speak directly one-on-one with me, I'm going to put my Calendly in the link down below. But even if you don't, I still want to get huge value from this video and give it to you. I wish you all the best on your agency journey, and I'll see you in some of my other videos.